Ah, hello, there is Rex, and we are walking through an ancient Iron Age gravesite today. Yeah, Scandinavia is not just about Viking history. I will also be showing some human remains on this video from a recording I took at I recorded at our local museum here on Bornholm. But anyway, enjoy our little walk here. A few hundred years old. This burial site here is older than the Viking Age. They started burying people here from the year 100 years before Christ to 400 years after Christ. So this burial site would have been used for 500 years. That's about 200 years longer than just the Vikings themselves. Like I say, they found 1,400 graves here. This is the water mill. That was built roughly in the year 1800. So way after these people, and the Vikings for that matter. This has nothing to do with those. It's just a beautiful mill. The prettiest on Bornholm actually. Yeah, back then it was a very violent time in Scandinavia during the Iron Age. I would say more so than the Viking era. Even the Queen of Denmark, when she was a princess, she was here when she was studying archaeology in her young days. She was here in 1962 and 1964, and she was part of this dig to excavate this place. It's just a beautiful setting, huh? Yeah, like I say, there were very violent times back then, during that period in the Iron Age. They found 15 of the graves that had battle wounds. You know, they died in battle. And 5 of the graves, they were missing their heads. So they had been decapitated. It was quite a rich society that lived here back then, on this part. The community would have been about between 50 to 100 people that lived here and continuously buried their dead here over the course of 500 years. It's very windy. I put a bit of music on. And the 45 boat graves, it's quite amazing really. Most of it was all rotten, but they managed to reconstruct a few of them, or one of them. And they would have used those boats without sails. They didn't have sails back then, they would have paddled. They would have used those boats to sail down the coastline to do a bit of fishing. And the larger boats they would have used to go to Sweden. Sweden is the nearest mainland to us. Denmark isn't, even though we are part of Denmark. Sweden is the closest to us. Anyway, I'm going to show you some human remains now of a warrior. So if you are a bit squeamish, turn off now. This guy is from about 1900, 1,900 years ago. There he is. he would have been about 40 years of age when he died. His sword there is what is known as the gladius sword from the Roman Empire. So he would have either fought with for the Roman army, or he would have fought with the Germanic tribes and brought that home with him, along with the jewelry and the rest of the finds in his graves. It's better that he is here in the museum than that a grave robber has taken it. So I like that he is here safely, but he's still saying, "Get me out of here, Maz." And all over Denmark there are signs of war in Germanic tribes back then, before the Vikings. In fact, all over Scandinavia, just in Sweden alone, there was also much fighting between the Germanic tribes. As you can see, there's not much left of the gravesite. There are the odd mounds, but if you was walking here, you would not have a clue that there was a 6,000 square meter ancient Iron Age burial site here. The men back there that were buried here, most of them had weapons with them. Most of them would have been farmers or fishermen and warriors. It was all to do with everyday life, their lives back then. Even during the Viking times, they were ploughing fields or fishing or doing handcrafts, and they had to fight and they had to learn to defend themselves. We have also many Iron Age forts here on the island, which I will also do some videos about. As you can hear, it's very windy here on the Baltic Sea. He loves it. He loves all these walks through these ancient places. That dog has seen more grave sites than most humans have. I know I would like to have sailed on those canoes across the Baltic down to Germany or Poland. The weather out there can get really bad. I know that, and I sail on a boat with an engine on. They didn't have that luxury back then. But anyway, could you give me some feedback on this video? Whether you like it or whether you don't, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. But I would like some feedback, because I want to know if people are interested in this type of videos from the ancient Scandinavia and Bornholm, obviously. I mean, these guys where I am from, they've been raiding and trading for thousands of years. Today we don't raid anymore, but we still trade here on the island. Anyway, please give me some feedback on this video. I'm going to show you a little bit more now from the museum. And the type of boats is in a little drawing on one of the signs. And please subscribe and stick a thumbs up if you like it. But anyway, here is what the place is. There you go, Slusegård. And there are the little boats there, what they were buried with, some of the 45 graves. There is another weapon from down south, from the Roman Empire. And there you go again, that's the site. And now a few of the finds. Most of the main finds, they would be on the mainland now in Copenhagen. We only have a small selection here on the island from that side. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.